Hey guys, I'm Jody.
I'm Justin.
And we are Board Game Perspective, and we are taking a look at Terraforming Mars, ARES Expedition, the Terraforming Mars card game sent to us by Stronghold Games. This plays 1 to 4 players, and the box says in around an hour. So this is an engine building game, lots of cards, as you can see, big stack of cards. So this has some similarities to the original Terraforming Mars, but has some differences. The main thing being phase selection, where players will take action simultaneously depending on the phases that were selected. But yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at this, see what some of those differences are, and then we're going to come back up and give you guys our thoughts.
So this is going to be a brief overview, so don't use this as a detailed how to play. But briefly, let's look at the setup. So each player has gets a player board and puts a cube on 0 for all the tracks. There's some extra for later. And everyone gets their phase cards. So we got phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A starting corporation, some project cards. Then you have this common board out here. We're going to put ocean tiles, and you're going to start the temperature and the oxygen on the lowest level. Everyone will be placing their cubes, one of their cubes on the terraform rating of 5. Then you got some money over here and the phase tokens. Now before you start, everyone will count for their corporation card, where you might start with some mega credits, which is money. You might start with some production. So this card here says you start with 51 mega credits, so you're gonna get 50 mega credits. So these are 10, this is 5, and these are 1s. And then there's also an ability down here, an effect that is when you play a certain card with the Earth tag, you get to pay 3 mega credits less for it. So that's an ongoing ability for the rest of the game. Now this game will be played in several rounds, and the goal of the game is to get the most victory points. And the game end will be triggered when the 3 parameters has been met. So all these ocean tiles have been flipped, that's 1. The oxygen is all the way up, and the temperature is all the way up as well. Now each round is split up into 3 main steps. You have the planning step, the resolve phases step, and the end step. The planning step is where each player will simultaneously choose a phase card that they want to play face down. And it's important to note that you cannot play the same phase card 2 rounds in a row. So if you play phase 1 here, it's going to stay out there, and then the next round you're going to play another card, and then this one, after that point, will be able to go back into your hand. So you're never able to play the same card 2 rounds in a row. So every player is going to choose a phase card. So let's just say this player wants to choose this one and plays it face down. And once everyone has done that, then everybody will flip the phase card over. And then you're going to flip over the phase tokens that correspond with all the phase cards that were selected. So this person chose phase 2. So the phase 2 token will get flipped over. And let's say we're playing with a couple other people and they chose phase 4 and phase 5, and those get flipped over. And then you're going to proceed to the resolve phases step, where you're going to resolve these phases in the order that they were chosen. So you're always going to start with 1. That wasn't chosen, so we're going to start with 2. So phase 2 will be resolved, and then phase 4, and then phase 5. When resolving the phases, each player gets to do the ability of each phase that was chosen. However, the person that played the phase card to select it would also get to activate this bonus. So there are 3 main colors of project cards. You have blue, green, and red. The cost of each card is going to be in the upper left-hand corner. Now this banner right here is going to have different tags. Now these don't really do anything right away, but could be useful for other cards that might say if you have this amount of tags, you get this. So there's just a bunch of different kinds of tags that you can get. A lot of the capabilities of the cards are going to be down here. So we got different boxes which show you which phases those will be activated. So for instance, this is a blue phase here, so or phase 3, so it'll be activated in phase 3, which is the action phase. And then you will see this over here. This will be victory points. So this is dependent on this down here. If you have this card, it's actually -1 victory point. If you have this card, it's going to be 2 victory points. And then some of the cards have prerequisites that you have to meet in order to even play the card. So for instance, this one here requires red temperature or warmer to even play this card. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over each phase so we know kind of the gist of what is going on. So let's go over phase 1. That is development. So this is where each player can play a green project card that in their hand. However, of course, you have to pay the cost. But the player that plays this will get to pay 3 less for it. So let's just look at this player's hand here. So we got some green cards. We have a red card here, so another green, red, blue. So this phase is where we can play a green card. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's play this one. All right, so this is gonna cost 7. So you're gonna spend 7. So this is 10, I'm gonna return that in, I'm gonna get 3 back. All right, so now you're gonna play this in your play area. Now, whenever you're playing out green cards and some other cards as well, you can kind of like overlap them like this, so you see the main ability that the card gives you as well as the tags. So the ability of this card is whenever you play a card that has that what is it? Science tag? No, not science tag. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Here we go. This tag right here. Then it's going to cost you 3 less. So what you're going to do to make sure you remember that is you're going to increase this track here by 1. That's pretty much saying the same thing. So whenever you play a card with that tag, it's going to cost you 3 less per production track on that UR. And that's the same concept for this one as well, except it's you pay 2 less and it's for one of these building tags. These other tracks are for plants, so this is where you're going to put the actual amount of plants and heat and money that you have. This is your production tracks. This is going to be how much you're going to produce whenever you do the production phase. So this is plants, heats. This is going to be cards that you can draw from the deck, and this is going to be mega credits, so the amount of money you're going to produce. And it's important to note that, and this is a reminder here, that anytime on your turn, you can always discard some of your cards to get 3 credits, mega credits each. So moving on, we got phase 2. The ability that everybody can do is each player may play 1 blue or 1 red card. And then the bonus for the player who played this or selected this phase gets to draw a card or play an additional blue card or red card this phase. So if this player played that phase, then they can play a blue or red card. So there is a red card here, there's a blue card. Let's see, what else? Another blue card. So you can play one of those cards, you gotta pay the cost. Actually, let's go ahead and do this one. So this is gonna cost 5. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're just gonna play that out here. And then, so I'm gonna turn in 5, so this is 10, I'm gonna get 5 back. And then this is an immediate action that you're gonna take here. It's gonna say draw 2 cards. So then you're just gonna draw 2 project cards from the deck and add it to your hand. And then the event, so these are like the event cards, the red ones. These are always gonna be like a instantaneous action you're gonna take, but you're gonna keep them, however, because they give you extra tags for the rest of the game. And then because this player is the one that selected this phase, they are going to do the bonus, and they're going to go ahead and draw an additional card to their hand. Now it is important to note that anyone who selects this phase, so if 2 people happen to both choose construction, this phase is obviously selected, but each player that selected the phase can use the bonus. Phase 3 is action, and the ability is each player activates any action effects, which will be on your blue action cards, and standard actions, which are going to be listed down on the bottom of your player board. And the players who selected this phase get to also activate 1 action in additional time. So here's an example of a blue card that has an action ability, and you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, this says phase 3. right there. So that means that this ability happens during phase 3. So it's a blue action that you can take on whenever you select the action phase. So this would be discard up to 3 cards in your hand and draw that many cards. So you could take this ability once. However, if you had been the one that selected phase 3, then you can actually perform a blue action an additional time. Now the standard actions are always available down there, and if you happen to have enough heat and plants where to fulfill one of these, you actually have to go ahead and fulfill it during the action phase when it's selected. You can spend 20 mega credits to gain a forest victory point token, and then also raise the oxygen 1 step. Then you could spend 4 mega credits to raise the heat temperature 1 step. And whenever you raise a parameter, you're also going to raise your terraform rating as well. And then let's see what else we got. We got turn in 8 plants to get a forest token and raise the oxygen another step. So you would spend 2, 4, 6, 8. So you would spend all of these to do that. If you had 8 heat, so the heat's right here, so 2, 4, 6, 8. So there was 8 heat here. Then you would raise the temperature 1 step and also your terraform rating. And then lastly, you can spend 15 mega credits to flip an ocean tile. Now, you can pick any one that you want to flip over, and then you're going to get the benefit on the other side. So you're going to get a card and a plant. Now, this is also a parameter, so you're going to increase your terraform rating if you flip over ocean tiles. And then we have phase 4, so everybody can do the ability, so each player gains heat plants and draws cards according to their production tracks over here. And they will also gain mega credits equal to their production track, which is here, plus their terraform rating. And the player who selects this phase gets to gain an additional 4 mega credits. So everybody will look at their production track. So let's look at this person's mega credits. So we're on 5 right here. So remember, the mega credits is going to be the production track plus your terraform rating. So that's 10 plus 5. So that would be 15 that you would add to your money here. And then we're on a 4 for a card. So you would draw 4 cards and put it into your hand. And then we have, let's see, 2 heat. So you're going to put 2 heat out here. And we're on 3 for plants. So you're going to put 3 plants out there. And the last phase that can be chosen is research. This is where all players would draw 2 cards and keep 1. The person that selects this phase gets to draw an additional 3 cards and keep 1 additional card. So just a way to get a lot more cards. After all the phases have been resolved, then you're going to move on to the end step, which is the last part of the round. And this is where each player is going to discard down to 10 cards in their hand. And of course, whatever cards you have to discard, you always get 3 mega credits for each card discarded. And then you're going to flip all of these tokens phase tokens over, and then you're going to start the round. So as mentioned earlier, the game end will be triggered once all the 3 parameters have been met, with all of these increased and the ocean tiles all flipped over. And once this happens, then you will finish the current phase you're in. So whichever phase you guys we're currently doing, then you'll finish that, and then the game ends. So you don't actually finish the round, but you've only finished the phase. And when the game is over, you're going to tally up your victory points. You're going to get 1 point for where you are on the terraform rating. So if I'm like up here, then I would get 25 points at the end of the game for that. Then you're going to get victory points equal to your forest tokens. It's 1 per forest token. And then victory points equal to what is printed on your project cards. And whoever has the most points is the winner. Now I will point out in the back of the rulebook, there is a nice description of all the different symbols, so you can figure that out if you're not sure. And then there are some rules for a 2-player co-op mode and also a solo game. Alrighty, so time for our thoughts. So overall, I like this game. I have always liked Terraforming Mars, and I like this version as well. Honestly, like, I don't know which one I would like better. I'm still not sure. But because I like them both. So as of now, I'm still keeping both of them. And then maybe later down the road, if I decide which one I like better, maybe I'll get rid of it. But I don't know. I like them both.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I like the idea that I like that this one's shorter. That I definitely do like. I just feel like the regular Terraforming Mars tends to drag out for a long time, especially kind of depends on who you're playing with too. So
yeah, this one still is kind of long. Like
I
thought it was gonna be shorter than what it turned out to be.
I agree.
So, but it still is shorter than the original game. But it still is, you know, a time investment. It's not like a filler or anything.
Yeah. So we've played at this point all the different kind of variations of this game. We played with multiple players. We've played with the 2-player co-op.
I did the solo.
You played
mode.
Solo. So what did you think about the different style, the different ways you can play?
So I really enjoyed my solo game. I'm not a huge solo gamer, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I mean, yeah, I think this is it's fun. It's solo.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed, actually, you know, honestly, I enjoyed all of the variations. I enjoyed multiplayer, I enjoyed the co-op, and I enjoyed the solo.
Yeah. the thing that I had when we played the solo, and we only got to play the co-op when we played the 2-player co-op, and we only did this once, so it may not be the proper judgment. But when we played the 2-player co-op, I felt like it took us so long to get any sort of engine going, get any sort of engine built, that we were way behind from the very beginning, and we were trying to play catch up from the very beginning. And it just felt like we could never quite get there. And then we ended up towards the end kind of picking up a little bit of steam and getting
we were close.
Somewhat
we
close.
were close. I don't know, maybe it was, I don't know, different combinations of the cards we had, or, you know, it was our first time playing the co-op.
True.
I mean, there's really not a lot of rule differences between the multiplayer, the co-op version, and the solo. Like, there's just a few tweaks. So I like that as well. If you want to play different modes, there's not a lot of things you need to change, or a lot of different rules you need to understand. It's just pretty much the same game. But I enjoyed all three of those variations. But I mean, so the components, I really like the cards. I like the way they look. I like the art. I love these, the cubes.
They did a great
Way
job
better.
updating these cubes, because these look so much better than the
they're
goofy looking metallic ones.
They have these really nice, cool little swirl effect to them. I love those way better than the original Terraforming Mars. Yeah, like the metallic looking ones. I did not like those. Now so a few things. One, the board is just it's just too small. I mean, you have, especially if you're playing with multiple people, all trying to fit on the same, you know, score track, and then even keeping track of the oxygen and temperature. Like, the spaces aren't big enough for these cubes.
That's true.
It's just, I found it to be annoying, honestly. And when it comes to player boards, you know, so this is the Target retail version. These boards, they have to be dual layered. At this point, it just needs to be dual layered. I mean, because they just slide around. If you accidentally hit your player board, you know, oh well, was I on the 1 production or 2 production?
You got so many cubes to keep track of, and it's like
it has to be dual layered.
If anything happens to your board, it's just like, oh no, what just happened?
Yeah, so it's frustrating. I wish the base game came with the dual layer boards. It's a necessity, in my opinion. It's just frustrating dealing with these. So, I mean, if you're gonna get this game, maybe consider saving or spending some money to do dual layer boards. I know I'm gonna want to do that because it's just a little annoying to deal with. But I mean, overall, I mean, I enjoyed my time with this, and you know, it's gonna stay in our collection. And you know, I don't know if I'll ever figure out which one I like better. I'm so bad at making decisions. But I enjoyed my play of this one.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah.
I thought it was good. I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't know which one I would pick either. I think that if I'm gonna opt for one, I'm probably gonna opt for the shorter one, and you know, that's just me. But otherwise, I feel like they play kind of similarly, and you know, obviously there's differences, but for the most part, it's still kind of a similar experience.
Yeah. Just the main thing obviously being the face selection. But yeah, so that is our thoughts on this game. Definitely one worth checking out, in my opinion. That is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. So if you found today helpful, feel free to hit that subscribe button and like this video. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching and happy gaming.
See ya.